Hey, Shalom, Markins, Rakam, Kapashan, Jim, Islam, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Vachakadash. I want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles, GMS, and Shalom out there to the whole for that pushing his truth and all sincerity. It's like you're back again with another video. And, here in the UK, we've had, I had one of the hottest summers on record, supposedly, right? Causing all kinds of droughts and all types of issues here, okay? But we also had heavy rainfall as well, coming with it. The most sides bringing drought and floods all over the place, man. And the Lord's funny, man. Because I was watching something on, I was on one of the news channels, right? And you had a farmer complaining about how dry the ground was and their crops and that kind of stuff. But because the ground is so dry, that because they was anticipating heavy rainfall, man, they said it wasn't even going to help because the ground was so hard that the water will run off the surface and cause flooding. It won't it won't help the fields or nothing like that, because it wouldn't be able to absorb the water. It will just run off. It will run down and whatever, and it wouldn't even help with the fact that they've had all this dry weather, man. So I thought, that's kind of crazy, man, because the Lord, like, the Lord bring the extremes of both things, and it don't help either. People want the rain because it's dry, but the Lord send downpours, man, and you can't even use that rain properly, man. You can't even use that water, and Lord just bringing curses upon this place, man. Droughts and floods, and messing up with the energies. Or I've got a couple of articles I want to bring out. Just read the titles of that and bring these scriptures out. But the Lord is bringing curses on this place, man, and messing everything up, man. No matter what it is, the Lord just bringing it and messing everything up, man, because the Lord is destroying this place. All right, so I just put a quick search in there in Google, drought and floods, and all these things that popped up here. UK braced for drought and floods at the same time. All right. It says UK braced for drought and floods at the same time. Prolonged dry spell to come to an end this week, but 24 million people still face hosepipe bans, right? Because they've been banning the use of water, hose pipes and stuff like that because of the lack of water, But like I said, this rain that is coming is going to cause flooding, right? The UK is facing flash flooding and thunderstorms, even as a hosepipe ban covers millions of people comes into effect to deal with widespread drought following a summer of extreme weather. Says large parts of the country have been suffering from a lack of rainfall following record temperatures that have led to a huge increase in fires, left crops devastated, rivers dangerously low, and water shortages in many areas. Okay, these are all the plagues of Egypt coming again, man. Okay, the Lord is jacking up this place, man, to ultimately destroy it, right? According to the Met Office, Southeast England has had 144 days with little or no rain since January. 144, right? 144 days with little or no rain, right? The longest dry period since the 1970s, right? And let's see what else. The prolonged dry spell may finally be coming to an end. However, with flash flooding and thunderstorms expected this week and temperatures to begin drop from Wednesday, hail, frequent lightning, and flash flooding are possible, said the Telegraph. While parts of the UK face being deluged with rain this week, the downpours will not be enough to bring the drought to an end. It says just because it rains doesn't mean the drought is over. It seems very counterintuitive, but it's going to take sustained rain to replenish the aquifers and reservoirs. All right, so the Lord is cursing this place. All right. Same thing. This is the challenge of unprecedented floods and droughts in risk management, right? Because it's unprecedented floods and droughts occurring right now. Like I said, Easter likes to blame this on global warming, but really it's the Lord at work. Just quickly read the title of this one, right? It says at least 37% of American farmers say they are killing existing crops and selling off livestock due to drought after the US experienced its third hottest July on record. Right? So the farmers are not even bothered planting. They ain't got the water. There's no point. It'd be a waste of time, waste of money for them. And farmers are already struggling financially. You know? And I remember this. I remember this. This is a video, man. I taken a still from the video of what these cattle. This is from oh yeah. Wait, Texas. Anyway, yeah, these cows that are dropped dead, crops that are dried up. All right, so farmers are not even bothering, man. All right. So 1/3 of farmers also reported destroying orchard trees and other multi-year crops, and 2/3 have had to sell off portions of herds of flocks. Others have simply sent their livestock to slaughterhouse early because they got to maintain these animals, they got to feed these animals, you know. But they're not making money because they're not able to sell, you know, all their produce, man. Right? Or can't produce it, right? Says they have said they were forced to do so to an ongoing drought, which is making it difficult to water crops and care for animals. Okay, there we go. Right, so the situation may only get worse as local governments implement further measures to conserve water. As a result, the Farm Bureau says Americans will soon have to pay even more for meat. That's what we've been telling you, right? You know, the black horse is in effect, right? And crops, as they are already struggling with inflation, and that is only going up too. All right, so you know, and I got this scripture here from Joel, right? And this is from chapter 1, and this is something that occurred or happened to our people, right? But you know, the Lord said that He put the curses that came upon us will be put upon our enemies, right? And so this is what you're witnessing now. You're witnessing these curses that we've all been through as Israelites, right? In our kingdoms, right? And being placed upon our enemies, right? Being placed upon Esau, and everything is, you know, like I said, getting messed up, right? So let me read this. It's from Joel chapter 1, verse 10. I said, the field is wasted and the land mourneth, for the corn is wasted, the new wine is dried up, the oil languisheth. Okay, all the produce of the earth, it's all getting decimated right now. It's all getting destroyed. Okay, reduced. All right. So there's a supply and demand problem. All right, and that's only gonna get worse, right? It says, be ashamed, all ye husbandmen, right? These farmers and stuff like that, right? How are ye vine dressers for the wheat and for the barley, because the harvest of the field is perished. The vine is dried up, and the fig tree languisheth. Okay, then we're talking about the orchard trees and that as well, right? So the pomegranate tree, the palm tree, also, and the apple tree, even all the trees of the field are withered, because joy is withered away from the sons of men. Right, the Lord is putting this world right now for mourning, man. Problems, great distress, troubled times, and we know there's you know that real time of trouble, that great time of trouble, man, is about to take place on the earth. It's you know, leading up to it, man. A time of trouble such as never been since there was a kingdom, since there was a nation, right? This place is gonna go into a real dark time, man, and these people don't understand. They don't see it. They don't understand how bad it's gonna get. Right, this is just a start. Okay. It says, gird yourselves and lament, ye priests, how ye ministers of the altar, come, lie all night in sackcloth, ye ministers of my God. For the meat offering and the drink offering is withholden from the house of your God. Sanctify ye a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land into the house of the Lord your power, and cry unto the Lord. Alas, for the day of the Lord is at hand. Right, we're coming into the last moments of the last days. All right, the last days of the last days, right? And as a destruction from the Almighty, it shall come. And this is what the Lord is doing, bringing these plagues and these pestilences and all these curses upon the land, on you know, upon these nations, man. Right? It says, it is not the meat cut off from before your eyes, right? Well, yeah. Can I zoom in? Can't zoom. You know, well, we've seen it, heard it, seen it. Okay, we've seen it in the shop when we go over there. The prices of meat going up. Lack of availability is not as much on this, so that's why the prices are going up. The inflation's pushing the price up. Like I said, you can't necessarily find what you want because it's just not available, and that availability is getting worse, man. They're sending these cows. Well, these ones are already dead, but But they're just willingly sending their cows to slaughterhouse, man, because they can't afford to maintain them. So meat is being cut off from the earth, man. Meat is gonna be rare. I don't mean how it's cooked, It's gonna be rare. It's gonna be hard to obtain, okay, and very expensive, right? That's why they'll be coming out with them GMO meats and them Frankenstein burgers and stuff, man. Right? Plant burgers and whatever, man. Right? Franken meats, right? Says, is not the meat cut off from before our eyes? Yea, joy and gladness from the house of our power. The seed is rotten under their clods. The garners are laid desolate, and the barns are broken down. Okay, these farmhouses, these storehouses, right? And the scripture tells you, man, suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the storehouses appear empty, right? These farmers can't produce. They're not producing as much as they would be usually. They're cutting their losses, man. So that means your storehouses, your supermarkets, your markets, right? They're gonna be able to supply you, man. They ain't gonna have enough. They ain't gonna have enough to supply everybody. They're gonna be found empty. Okay, we've already seen what that looks like, to some degree through this whole pandemic. We've seen that, right? And like I said, things are gonna get worse in that respect. All right. This is So the seed is rotten under the clods, the garners are laid desolate, the barns are broken down, for the corn is withered. Right, we see the burnt crops, right? It says, how do the beasts groan? The herds of cattle are perplexed, because they have no pasture, but they've got no food. They don't know where to go, nowhere to graze, they ain't got nothing, man. They're getting killed, man. They're like, what the hell? They're getting killed early. And they're not even getting, what I mean? A full life, a nice, nice life, prior to the slaughter, they're just like, what the hell, man? It says the cattle are perplexed because they have no pasture, yea, the flocks of sheep are made desolate. O Lord, to thee will I cry, for the fire have devoured the pastures of the wilderness, and the flame have burned all the trees of the field. Right, so kind of likened unto the heat. It's just dried everything up. The Lord sent the heat. The Lord is causing all these problems. Consuming, the crops and the cattle and whatever. The Lord is causing these things to happen because the Lord is bringing around the great day of judgment, man. All right. So the beasts of the field cry also unto thee, for the rivers of waters are dried up. Okay, there've been rivers, being drying up, lakes and whatever. All right. That's why these bans have been, imposed, right? So, and fire have devoured the pastures of the wilderness. All right. And I had another article here. Oh, it wasn't that one. This was from Euro News, right? It says forest fires have burned a record, right? Guinness Book, right? Record, 700,000 hectares in the EU this year. It's lucky, right? So this is just in Europe, right? 700,000 hectares. I ain't so good with the hectares and acres and that stuff, but you already know that's a lot. 700,000 anything's a lot, right? But yeah, 700,000 hectares is a lot of land, man, and yeah, and this is in a year, and my man's holding his head there. Yeah, it's peak. Right, it says it is the biggest amount at this stage of the year since records began. All right, forest fires have burned a record 700,000 hectares in the EU so far this year, the biggest amount since records began. You are facing a difficult summer in Europe with so far for this year more than 700,000 hectares burnt, highest value at this time of the year since 2006. The area of 700,000 hectares is nearly 3 times the size of Luxembourg, or roughly the same size as Azerbaijan, right? Luxembourg is a small nation in Europe, all right? Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, you see the different amounts being burnt in these different countries. All right, let me read this paragraph here. I mean, like I said, he also likes to, attribute these things to climate change and, his agendas, right? To cut off people. He's an excuse to cut off people, all right, and restrict everything from you, right? But yeah, this is the Lord's work, right? It says climate change has made increased the likelihood of the severity of wildfires across Europe. This year, many of the fires were fueled by several heat waves and facilitated by a drought. Uh, the European Commission joint research said could be the worst in 500 years. All right, because we're in that time, man. Okay, we're in that time, man, and the Lord, like I said, He's at work. The angels are at work, destroying elements of this kingdom to bring about its demise, to bring about its downfall. Right, and Esau can blame it on whatever you want to blame it on to forward his own agenda, but really it's the Most High that's moving his agenda along. So yeah, the fires, man. All right. This is from Zero Hedge. It says Toyota and world's top battery maker halt factories in China amid drought-induced power crisis. So it's also having an effect on the power grid in certain countries, depending on how they develop their power, their energy, right? And since we're supposed to be pushing towards green energy, right? This is problems, man. Trying to get wind energy, hydro energy. Well, you need water for that. You need water for hydro energy. Electricity, you need, and if you ain't got water, then you're screwed. So the Lord drying up all your reservoirs and the rivers and stuff like that, you're screwed, man. Because you can't control those elements. Because the most I want to turn the heat up and dry all your water up, man, you can't do nothing about it. But he's sort of pushing towards that so-called green world, and basically making everybody, what's the term I could use? I don't know. They're lacking energy, man. They're desperate for energy and they can't get it, man. They ain't got enough. I ain't got the words to explain what I want to say, but it's leaving you short-handed, right? And again, it's about that controlling the people, controlling the energy, controlling the food. It's about all of that. Okay, you're still gonna put the MLTB in people, man, for that control, right? Uh, okay, I ain't gonna read this. The title's enough, right? So it's having an effect on the power grid in some places, right? So hold on 1 second. All right, so let's get the rest of these scriptures here, right? This is Haggai chapter 1 verse 1 says, "And I called for a drought upon the land and the mountains, and upon the corn, and upon the new wine, and upon the oil, and upon which the ground bringeth forth, upon men, upon cattle, and upon all the labor of the hands." Right? It's the Most High doing this. The Most High is the one in control of all these things, right? Like I said, Esau wanna talk about this, talk about that, not giving any acknowledgement to the Heavenly Father, but it's the Lord. The Lord is bringing about your end, man. All right, it's Isaiah 45:7. It says, "I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things." Right? The Lord is doing it. It's Isaiah 45 verse 7. It says, it's like, just read that. It's Amos 3 verse 6. "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people will be not afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it?" Right? This is creating a time of evil, man. You read Daniel chapter 12 verse 1. There's a time of trouble, time of evil such as has never been, and the Lord is setting it up. Okay, same way the Lord set up Egypt, okay, with the plagues and the pestilences before the Lord ultimately destroyed that place, man, and brought it down to its knees. Egypt is a forgotten. Well, it's not forgotten, but that's an ancient thing, man. That doesn't exist now. Egypt don't exist the same way. You got a bunch of Arabs and Edomites in that land or whatever. Okay, those original Egyptians, man, they don't live in that land right now, man. They don't have no world power. They have no ruling power. That kingdom and era is over. Lord finished it. But the same thing is gonna happen with this place, right? The Lord is gonna finish this place, this kingdom. You people think it's unfathomable that it could never happen. The Lord has brought down many kingdoms. All the kingdoms the Lord has brought down, as great and as mighty as they were. Right? This place will be no exception. All right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 11. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Right? The Lord is doing the same thing over again with this place, this new Egypt, right? Because Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague. The foundation, food is vital. It's like a staple that everybody needs. Water, food, and the Lord is taking everything from the base, man. It's eventually going to just crumble down. It's all going to fall down. All right. So Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn. These farmers are mourning, man. They're in problems, man. For their seeds shall fail. Yeah, it's failing through the blasting and hell, and with a fearful constellation. Right, and that's exactly what's happening, man. The Lord bringing different, the elements against them: the fire, the water, the frost. All these things that the Lord is bringing against them to destroy them. All right. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 37 says, behold, the plagues that draw nigh, they are not slack. Okay, we're going from one problem to another, man. It's coming thick and fast. Okay, they're just stacking up. They're multiplying. The problems are multiplying, man. They're not getting less. You thought that you thought you was out of the pandemic. No, there's more problems. More problems to face. So as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringing forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains can't pass her womb, which pains and the child coming forth, they slack not a moment. Things are getting faster, things are getting more intense, man. There don't seem to be no let off. The foot on the gas all the way down. But things are accelerating, things are getting faster. And as we draw closer to that time, man, we're gonna see this, man. Esau gonna move with vigor, man. He gonna move with purpose, man. Right? Revelation 12, sitting come with great wrath, because you have but a short time. Or the devil comes with great wrath, because you have but a short time. But the devil is Esau, our adversary, which is Satan. All right. He's moving towards what he believes is his NWO, his agendas, right? So he's moving forward. For him, this is the time. This is the time to lock it down. He's just got to push on with these things, and cause this chaos, right? And try and bring in that order, right? And get everybody to take their multi-B to establish that order. All right. So yeah, we're in that time, man. Okay, things are moving. Okay, this is the last one I got. It says Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 22. It says actually, I'm reading from verse 19, right? It says, he shall take holiness for an invincible shield, his severe wrath shall be sharpened for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds as from a well-drawn bow they shall fly to their mark. The hailstones full of wrath shall be cast out of a stone bow, and the waters of the sea shall rage against them, and the floods shall cruelly drown them. Yea, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. Right, eventually, the Lord is going to destroy this whole place, man. Okay, the Lord is going to bring, like I said, all the plagues, all the judgments against this place, and eventually, where this is going to lead to? America's destruction, and the destruction of all Esau's kingdom, and all these nations, man. They're all going to be broken down. The Lord is going to consume them with all these plagues, all these judgments, and ended in the thermonuclear destruction, man. That's what it's going to lead to, man. Okay, and we're just waiting for it, man. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. I hope this is edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video, man. So next time I say shalom.